Okay, we are recording.
Awesome.
So we're the Jacuzzi Girls.
Yeah.
Uh,
Welcome to our show.
Yeah, the title is sexy, but it's not. The title came about from not a sexy story. Do you want to start why we're the Jacuzzi Girls?
I think we should start with saying who we are, because we're assuming that everybody knows, but you never know who might see this, So my name is Jania, and this is my friend.
Well, Estella.
Yeah, we grew up together, hence we have a lot of stories to share. But it just came about where we decided to film this in order to review some shows that we've been watching recently. And
something people should know is I think that we watch a lot of TV and we love pop culture. We know a lot about pop culture.
Yeah, we're basically ahead of all the trends. Both of us are on TikTok. And
then you're into books and podcasts, and I'm into being OCD crazy and investigating people through sketchy sources, aka conspiracy blogs and things like that.
Exactly. Should we? Okay, wait, we wanted to elaborate on why we're the Jacuzzi Girls.
Oh, right.
I feel like you should say why we're the Jacuzzi Girls, because I don't know, it just comes better coming out of your mouth.
I think it also just shaped me as a human a lot.
Yeah, I feel like you remember the story much more vividly than I do.
Yeah, I tell it to people all the time.
This is
the party story.
That much. Yeah. I don't remember that. Yeah.
So basically, we're the Jacuzzi Girls, not because we're sexy people in jacuzzis. It's because when we were kids, we were, I think, 8 or 7 years old, we were on holiday. And you know how there was a big pool, and then next to the pool, there were jacuzzis where you could go chill. And so Johnny and I would run from the pool to the jacuzzi and back and forth. And we were in the jacuzzi at one point, and I remember these two boys, maybe a little bit older than us, came into the jacuzzi, and they started looking at us and talking in English and being oh my, they were kind of making fun of us and being oh my God, they don't even understand what we're saying, ha ha ha. And then I don't know why, but Johnny and I didn't say a word to each other. We just stand up at the same time and we kind of go we understand English. And we just beat the crap out of them in that jacuzzi. They were literally trying to escape the jacuzzi and we just kept punching them. And eventually they, well, it's not we I don't know, beat them to a pulp. We didn't, but we just punched them a few times to kind of teach them a lesson.
I actually think the guy that you hit got a nosebleed, no?
Did he? Oh, yeah, so did I though.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we both did.
So it was mutual. It was equal exchange.
You remember their little sister ran to the jacuzzi at one point and tried to rescue them and tried to get them out, and she was 5, and she basically was she ran away because she was this situation is just bad. And then basically the two boys did eventually leave, and they were fine, but yeah, I guess we were very aggressive, crazy 8-year-olds.
We were just defending our honor and pride, and honestly, I have nothing to apologize for.
You know what's really impressive? That they were older than us and they were bigger than us, and we took them.
I don't remember much resistance from their side, which I guess is fair, considering we were younger girls. But you know what? It's good.
Maybe they were gentlemen. Maybe they just didn't want to go too crazy after they already insulted us. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's why we're the Jacuzzi Girls. I think the funniest part of the story is that we just stand up. I just remember this so vividly, and we just look at each other, and we knew what we had to do without saying a word.
You know what? What's funny about this is that I wish that was the only story that we had, but we've had over the years so many weird things that we did or happened to us, or altercations, that it's just at this point, you just have to accept who we are, F it.
Yeah. And I think a lot of, in my perception in childhood, a lot of stories are associated with a pool or jacuzzi. Because remember when we used to play Totally Spies or H2O, and we would pick random people in the pool to stalk and pretend they're the villain and just stalk them randomly.
Oh my gosh.
I don't even know if they knew. These just three Asian girls just following them around.
It's so true. We like, I feel like a lot of our stories are linked to water, or like a lot of our
Or
activities, what
skiing.
we did, even, yeah, or skiing. That is
Yeah.
true. Interesting. Well, I mean, that
Yeah.
makes sense though, because we did spend vacations together as kids,
Yeah. And
and
we
like I guess we
swam and
studied
skied.
together. Yeah.
But yeah,
Anyways,
so that's why we're the Jacuzzi Girls, because we
no,
we
actually, we're the Jacuzzi Girls because we're the hottest girls on this planet, and welcome to our jacuzzi talk.
Okay, so can we get to the shows? Because basically Netflix
Okay.
came out with well some really good shows this year, and it's only February, and we want to discuss them. And the first two we want to talk about, they're related: Inventing Anna and Tindler Swindler.
Yeah.
And I know you have notes because you're insane. So do you want to take us off?
Okay. I'm not insane. I just like stuff that I wanted to touch upon so I don't forget it after. Because I feel like
Okay.
in the moment you can just blank.
Yeah.
Anyways, I think we should start with Tindler Swindler.
Yeah.
So I watched it before going out on a Friday. It was literally maybe like 6 p.m. I got home from work, and it sucked me in so much that I just was late to the dinner, everything.
Mm-hmm.
And the next day I told Estella to watch it so we could discuss it.
Yeah.
And I think like my first point that I want to touch upon is that okay, so like I guess people that don't know, the premise of Tindler Swindler is it's about this Israeli guy who basically tricks all of these girls into sending him a lot of money,
And he
and all
pretends
these
to be the
girls,
son of a diamond mogul, and he's not.
yeah,
But he
yeah, and he
changes his last name to match that of the actual diamond mogul and pretends he's the son.
exactly. And so a lot of people were discussing it. I feel like it's just such a topic of conversation nowadays at dinners and stuff. And I love seeing all the TikToks about it as well, where it's like, if my guy asked me for money, I would just give him a hug and being like, good luck with your enemies, and send him on his way. But okay, so my first thing is that, like, I think a lot of people, after I watched it, I initially felt bad for the girls, but
Yeah.
then I think came a lot of backlash saying that how gullible can the girls be? And the more I started to think about, the more I was like, that is true to an extent. Because, okay, if you think about it logistically, if he was the son of a billionaire, did he not ask his, like, first of all, you can ask your dad for help or like coordinate with him. Or let's say like when you run in certain circles and you go to certain places, I'm sure his friends could have loaned him the money, and not an average girl who like doesn't have much behind her name to begin with.
Yeah. I agree with you on the second point, because I think the father thing, I guess it's because maybe he was like, my whole family's being tracked or whatever. But I agree with you
Yeah.
about the friends. If I was me, I would be concerned that he doesn't have friends that can help him. Like in general, I'd be like, where are your friends? Like I don't know. For me, that would be really weird that he's asking me out of all people, to help him.
And also, let's say what was the first name? Felicity? No. Who was
I know
the
there's
main girl?
Pernilla.
Pernilla was the friend.
Yeah, the other one, I can look it up. But you know what's really crazy, if you think about it, is how well oiled of a machine he is at love bombing. Because these girls all dated him for 2 months. And after 2 months, they were giving him their life savings. And
Literally.
considering the lifestyle that he would have to have, well, I don't know how, like 6 girls per year on rotation. 6 new
minimum,
girls.
maybe even.
Minimum, minimum. 6 girls per
considering
year
how much
on
she spent.
rotation. That is minimum. So it's like, and also like I was talking about it with someone, like, how do you keep track? Does he have like notes? Like, today I sent her this, today I sent her that, Like,
and I listened to a podcast with her actually, and she was saying how insane he must have been operating, because he would remember little things about her as well. Let's say she would be like, oh, like one night in the apartment, like where she lived, she was cold that night. And then he'd be like, oh, when they were looking for an apartment to rent, he'd be like, make sure that it has good heating so you don't get cold. Like he would always remember little details. And that's why she said it was even crazier because you really thought that he cared for you, which I'm
Cecily. Her
assuming
name's
maybe
Cecily.
Cecilia.
Cecilia, Cecily. I don't know how to pronounce it. I don't want to be
I don't think
rude,
there
but
was somebody called Cecily.
well, that's what it says online. Her name is like
No, there's three
Cecily.
girls. Pernilla.
Cecily, Pernilla, Eileen. Eileen was the third one.
Okay, yeah, fair. I don't know why I thought her name was Felicity. Maybe,
I mean, close enough.
yeah.
But wait, so what were you saying?
I was talking about how I listened to the podcast, and she was saying how he would remember small details about them, and that's why it felt even more real that he really cared for them and made them like he would like really like raise them up and like support them and like say all these like nice words and everything, and that's what made them kind of like trust him more and like
Also,
fall
he
in love with
loved
him.
bomb them. He would be like in a week, like, I want to
Yeah,
have your children, or I want you to
yeah.
have my children. Like that's an intense thing to say to someone.
See, I feel like you have to be a certain kind of girl to like fall on that hook, because I really doubt that a girl like let's say a New York girl would do that for a guy, just because how much America is obsessed with like the rules of dating and like how to be aware of the red flags and like what is love bombing, what is like
And just the
breadcrumbs
commitment
or like
phobia as well. It's pretty rampant. Not even in America, but just in our society right now, even amongst women.
for sure. But I do think that maybe it's discussed more in the States than it is in Europe. Just I guess because people are obsessed with the topic conversation of dating. Like I feel like a lot of podcasts, etc., touch upon it.
I think it's because I think dating is also more diverse there. Whereas here it's more. I think in Europe it's a bit more. It's a bit more still traditional. I think.
Yeah, exactly.
You
Yeah.
know.
And also, if you think about it, there is a different dating culture in America than there is in Europe or elsewhere.
For sure.
So that makes sense.
And as I said, I think it's diverse. Like state by state, by city, it's so different. Like
Fair,
New York
but
versus
yeah.
Boston versus LA.
That is true.
Like
Yeah.
those are like
that is
really
true.
different,
Yeah.
like universes, I would say.
I think I was just thinking more of New York because we've both been there.
Yeah.
But yeah, that makes sense. That is true. Apparently dating in LA is a totally different ball game.
I can't even imagine. Like I would literally be like so lost, I think, at this point there. But wait, coming back to this, I agree with you. I think it's a certain type of person, and I don't think it's bad or good, but I think there's certain people, and I think he knew how to choose them, who, in a weird way, are very brave because they're not afraid to like get vulnerable fast. Because for me, I think if a guy told me I want you to have my children within a week, I would genuinely be scared. Like I would be like, this is really uncomfortable. Like I don't want this. I don't want this. I'm scared.
Please leave me alone.
Yeah, I would literally
I'm
be
a
like,
good
I want to
girl.
go home. I want to go home.
Mom, can you pick me up? I'm scared.
Yeah, I don't want to have anybody's kids yet.
Oh my god.
But do you know what I'm saying? Like, I think he really knew how, like it was a system. I think it was a really
no, but it's definitely you have to be like skilled at it. Not anybody can just pull it off. Like you have to give him credit where credit is due. The fact that he could outmaneuver and like take all this money from all these girls is actually like you need to have talent for that. You cannot just be an average Joe like navigating your life.
And the fact that he did it, and he did it legally.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
it's not illegal to give someone money. It's not illegal to make someone take out a loan for you and like give it to them, or not even make them want to do it. That's the difference.
Yeah, that's do you want to give me 240,000 on that note?
I mean, like literally, I wouldn't even know where to get that. I would literally be like, where do you get this money? Okay, I actually want to touch about something. So, you said give him credit where credit is due.
Yeah.
I agree. As I said, well-oiled machine system, great. But, and this is maybe like a transition to inventing Anna. You know what I think the biggest difference between them is?
What is it?
So Simon is I don't think he can actually compare to Anna, because I think Anna is a lot bigger scale than him. Because Simon just did it to like fund his lifestyle. Like, you know, he didn't
Yeah.
even have long-term vision plans. Anna, okay, what she did was wrong, but she had a vision. Like, she was actually putting this
Yeah.
money, or she wanted to put this money towards a
Into a
business.
business. Yeah.
So like she thought bigger, you know, this was not like,
Yeah.
oh, I just want to go out and have fun and people like, you know. So I actually like I
But
saw
that
these
was up.
memes.
Yeah, sorry.
Did you see the
Continue.
memes where it was like power couple, Simon and Anna?
Yeah. 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 I actually screenshotted one of them because I wanted to send it to you. Um, it
What do
was
you
like
think?
it was a meme where Simon was like, baby, I need my money. My enemies are after me. And then Anna's like, okay, I sent you a wire transfer. It should be here in 3 to 5 business days. No, so I agree with you actually. And also, I think a lot of people brought up, why did he not invest that money while he was being handed it instead of just blowing it all away? Oh, I guess.
Because I think Anna's a bigger mastermind than he is. That's just the gist of it. And so I love the meme, but I think if Anna were to date Simon, I think she would eat him alive. I
Do you
genuinely
think
think
though?
so.
Do you think though, now that I'm thinking about it, maybe he was doing it not because he's not smart, let's say, or he's not like thinking about us, but maybe it's because you have to be a certain kind of psycho to lead people on like that, ruin their lives basically, make them take out so many loans, and then leave them in tons of debt and just break up with them after. Um, so maybe I have a feeling that he actually feeds like he does it not because he's like needs money. I think he does it
Mhm.
more because it feeds into some psychotic part of himself.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah.
I think I don't know if you agree. I think Anna I think the thing is, okay, I think Anna and Simon are both those people. I think the psychotic thing is, I think they believe everything they say. Like they believe it. The only difference is because Anna went to prison, she got a bit of a reality check. So I think if Simon was actually put to jail for the crimes that he like if they acknowledge these are your crimes, you did this, he
Yeah.
would have actually, I think, had a bit of a reality check. But because he never actually went to jail for those crimes, he went to jail for something else, like that he did. He can still be like, no, it's not true. So I think he is actually he still believes that he's this amazing, smart, rich bachelor that is like in demand.
But he knows what he did. So it's like
Deep, deep,
well,
deep,
maybe
deep, 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 deep
yeah,
inside.
yeah. I guess maybe like on the surface level, he's probably thinking like I didn't do anything wrong. They gave me money. I want to ask, and that's it.
And I gave him these
Like
trips and I gave him all these things. So like we're even.
yeah, and I guess it's like maybe is that how like girls? Let's say girls who have sugar daddies feel. Do you know what I mean? Like where it's like, um, actually, I don't know where I was going with this.
Well, I think being like with a sugar daddy is actually more honest than what he did or Anna did, because at least you know what their
Oh,
relationship is.
fair.
It's
And
a
also like the
transaction,
sugar
you know
daddy,
it.
yeah, the sugar daddy voluntarily gives you this money. It's not because like he like you con him out of giving that money. He just
Yeah.
yeah, fair.
Both parties are aware of the transaction happening and they're fine with it.
Yeah, that is
So,
true. Versus here he conned them. Anyways,
but yeah, I think Anna literally would eat Simon alive. Like, I think if they met, she would literally con him out of money and just basically, or he would become like her minion, something like that.
have you seen if have you seen pictures of her? Like
Yeah.
do you know like this I can't first of all the actress is as per usual is better looking than the real life human obviously, but um it's so interesting because the way they describe her, I want to listen to an interview with her, or I wish there was a video of her existing in real life
Oh,
so
there
that
is.
I
I
could
can send you one.
oh really? Because I saw this short snippet that she sent from I think jail or like wherever she is right now, but and she did have an accent and everything, but I'm talking about like I want to see her like with her clothes on and the way she was normally before this.
Oh, I
Because
had never seen anything before, but I've seen after. Like where the guy,
yeah,
you know, it's like he's like, "Do you feel bad?" And she's like, "No, I don't feel bad." And he's
yeah,
like, "What do you mean?" She's like, "I don't feel bad. What do you want me to say?" Something like that.
yeah,
I'll send it to you. It's and the way she's actually so the thing is, I think because I don't know if you were in New York when the story came out. I think I was still there. So I remember this, I read the article, the original article, um, that Jessica Pressler wrote, and I was obsessed. Like, I remember everybody was discussing this story. Like, we were all obsessed with it. So I think I was really, really waiting for the TV show. And by the time it came out, like 4 years later, I will honestly say I think that the original story is a lot more interesting than the TV show is. I think the TV show is, I think it kind of is a bit off. Like, I didn't think it was that interesting. I didn't think it was that amazing. I know it's Shonda Rhimes. I know she's great, whatever. But I think in this instance, there were so many random backstories that we just didn't need.
I definitely think that it was just I think it's a different way of telling the story. And I think maybe if it was filmed as like a docu-series, like maybe it would have been more captivating, because what I found in this show is I was constantly wondering like what is real and what isn't, like what was true, what actually happened and what actually didn't, because it said some of it is based on real events except the
Yeah.
stuff that was all made up. Hence, like let's say like people's spouses like were made up, as in like the lawyer wasn't married to some blonde woman from a rich family. He's also married to another lawyer, but she's normal and everything, because I did my research after. Or like
and Jessica Pressler was not some struggling journalist. Like, she was actually really famous before that because she wrote a really big story before Anna. It was, the movie Hustlers.
yeah, I read about it.
So
That was
she was like,
based
she
on
was
her.
not doing
Oh yeah,
badly.
she was not struggling, basically. She was not. And also I think that she even actually said it somewhere when people asked her, being like, what do you think about this? She was like, yeah, I was pregnant at the time, but it's not really an accurate depiction of how I am as a person. And I was like, ouch, that's fair. But
I
now it's
just
on
feel like
Netflix
that
and everybody's watching it.
whole story with a journalist, I think it's important, right? Because a journalist is important, but they gave her
Yeah.
such a backstory that it was a bit too much. Like, and also I think it was weird that they made her obsessed with Anna. Like, at the end, I was like when she literally couldn't let her go, I was like, okay, like, this is very strange.
I think no, but I think the reason why they did that is because they wanted us as the audience kind of like to be also obsessed with Anna, mimic that behavior.
I actually
But
read a lot of articles that criticized the show for that. They said that Anna shouldn't be painted as a hero, and that's kind of what Netflix did.
yeah, and I think you kind of feel bad for Anna as well. But like the way it's framed is that you're like, oh, but she was trying and everything, and I don't know,
Yeah.
like maybe, but like whenever I watch these shows, I'm always so amazed that people like this exist in the real world. And I think that's why it's such a phenomenon, because have you noticed like a lot of shows where it has stuff to do with something illegal and that's a lot of money
Yeah.
go like viral, and like everybody discusses them because people, I think it's such an interesting topic of conversation, and just like knowing that people like this exist in the real world and are living their lives, like conning people, whatever, stealing money, finding ways.
But that's not the crazy part to me. The crazy part to me is that she got caught and she became a phenomenon. Because in reality, how many people do you know, Jania, that are living this amazing lifestyle on Instagram, but like it's fake? And they're literally just faking it till they make it in a way. And that's kind of the murky part, right?
Wait, I don't know any people like I don't think I know many people like that, or maybe I just don't dive into their lives.
I feel like you don't know them closely, but for sure we know people who are very like splashy, flashy on Instagram. Like,
But yeah, I mean, we do know people, let's say, who like might post a picture with, let's say, like somebody else's bag, or like at this location, but they weren't actually there just for the location spot, let's say the
or
geotag,
like, when
whatever.
they post with a car and you actually know it's a rental, things like
Yeah,
that. But people who
fair.
don't know, they're like, oh my God, like it's amazing. But you're like, I mean, and that's the thing, you're kind of like, I'm not gonna judge you because you're hustling, you're faking until you make it. And
And
that's the
also
thing,
like
Anna,
but who am I? Yeah, who are we to like direct the way you use Instagram? Like
literally.
Instagram, when people complain to me about Instagram being like a fake world where people show like only their best sides, I'm like, what did you think it was? Like, that is what it is actually. Like, people show the top 1% of their lives on Instagram. Nobody really, like, everything's curated. And you should go on the Instagram app with like a fresh head, knowing, being rational about it and understanding that, oh, this is for entertainment purposes. This does not depict real life.
Or even startup founders, startup teams, right? When they go to
Yeah.
investors, they exaggerate a lot. They like make some crazy assumptions. They have some crazy financial projections. And it's not a crime if they do it, technically.
I think that maybe the way she went about it was a bit wrong because she was relying on her trust fund.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, where's the border of what's acceptable and what's not? Like, why do you think she crossed that border?
Maybe by saying that she has a trust fund, she wanted people to like. But don't you think? I actually think that if Anna, now that I'm thinking about it, if she didn't lie about being like a rich heiress and she just came to New York, let's say, and started hustling, started dating,
Yeah.
whatever, and like buying like nice clothes for herself, I think maybe like over the span of like 10, 15 years, maybe if she really tried, she could have made it, her club or whatever she wanted, a reality. Because it's not like she did not have like taste for art. That's what they say, that she knew like what was good and what isn't. Hence, maybe she wanted to accelerate the process. Well, yeah, that's fair. Because even when in the show, when they were saying like, why don't you go work and stuff, and she was saying how she wants to do her own thing.
I think she just see, it's like if she didn't say she was this German heiress, it would have been fine. But if she didn't say she was a German heiress, she would have never gotten into the room with those people. And it just shows you how like superficial everyone is, you know?
Definitely.
Like the fact that these really powerful people believed her, fell for it just based off all these superficial things. And
That goes to show you it's all about who you know in the world. In
and
general,
also you fake
yeah.
it till you make it.
Yeah.
Because I think like the thing about Simon and Anna is they didn't come from rich families. They pretended like they did, but they weren't. And they hustled. Like maybe they did it in the wrong way, but they hustled. How
And
many people do you know who are rich, know everybody, but they're just very complacent. Like they don't really do anything with it.
Yeah, fair.
So I think it's who you know and like basically, yeah, fake it till you make it. Like you need to like network.
So yeah, I think with Anna's potential, considering she did get through all these doors and she was like very persistent and consistent with her work, whatever, maybe she could have raised the capital. It probably obviously it wouldn't have been a large sum to begin with, but she could have started somewhere, or maybe she could have connected with somebody who could partner up with her and like get this thing off the ground. I don't know.
You know what she did wrong, in my opinion? What kind of set everything back?
What?
She shouldn't have lived in all those hotels because she got, I think, caught because she was skipping out on hotels, right? Like,
At the end, yeah.
She should have just taken because she got a lot of money. She should have taken the money and rented an apartment, like a nice apartment, and just put down the money, right?
Yeah.
And then everything else, you know.
That's also made me think about that. Maybe she's not as smart as we think she is, because why is she blowing all this money, and she's relying on this loan to come in?
Yeah.
While she's blowing all this money, but I'm like, this loan is meant for your business. Obviously, like you will probably get a part of it and whatever. But if you actually had the business mindset, you wouldn't be like spending all your money and then just waiting for a loan to come in that is supposed to be a business loan, not a personal loan.
Maybe she was relying on law of assumption or something.
No, but you know what I mean? Like, I was thinking about it, I was like, why are you spending so much if like that money is not supposed to be for your personal spend later on either. Like,
yeah, that's fair.
Cover your whatever debt that you owe. It's supposed to be for a business.
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe like to show people like all the like you know how rich she is, but she went overboard. You know what I'm saying? Like she really treated herself.
For sure.
Like going to Morocco, I think that was like insane. I actually think that was psycho.
That was psycho.
Also, like I'm just curious at these dinners, like isn't it weird though that you would be like, where did you go to school? Like, what do you like, you would just ask people normal background questions. And I don't know how did she answer that? Because I don't even know if she went to uni. Not that like going to uni is like a prerequisite, but I don't know. I would just been like, so like, where do you live? Like what city? Like, it just like you would start like asking about her past. And I don't know how
Yeah.
she would answer that. Because I'm sure
I'm sure she
someone at one point would be like, okay, she would say, I'm from Germany. And someone out there, because the world is so small and it's wild, we've realized, someone would be like, oh, I know someone who lives in Cologne. Do you know this person? Do you know that person?
yeah.
And then you would ask them, have you heard about this person? And they would just be like, no. So I don't know. I don't know
But
how
do
it
you
all
think
happened.
that is fair? The world is very small. Like every time I get proof of it more and more. Like you meet somebody and they know somebody else, and just that escalates.
I
Yeah.
guess if she was being introduced by these high up cool people, I guess maybe you wouldn't question it. Because it's like a chain, You're like, oh, I guess if she knows him, she must be okay.
Yeah. And also, even if you like inquire about it, let's say like, being like, oh, I know a person from there, and she'd be like, oh, I don't know them, you're gonna be like, oh, they just don't know each other.
But
That makes
eventually,
sense.
I
Like,
guess she met enough people that other people would be like, oh, yeah, I know her. Her family's this, her family's that, without actually ever knowing, but they just heard it from enough people that they believe it. And it
but it
kind
was
of
a
gets
small
passed around.
town. As in, like you saw on the Netflix thing, like it was a really small town. Like not a lot of them spoke English even.
No, but what I'm saying is imagine you knew her, right? And she told you
Yeah.
this story. And then I
Okay.
saw you and I was like, hey, do you know who this Anna Delvey is? And you would be like, oh yeah, I think she like is from Germany and she's an heiress or whatever. I know you, so I wouldn't question you. I wouldn't be like, how do you know this? Do you know this for sure? I would take it at face value. So I would be like, oh, okay. So the next time I see somebody and they ask me about her, I would say the same thing. So it's like literally created this like weird, credible ecosystem.
Fair. I can see that.
The Tindler Swindler, right? You know how I said we haven't
Yeah.
heard the last of Anna? I think she's going to do something big. I genuinely think she's going to come back. She's going to have a big comeback somehow. It's going to be controversial, but it'll be big. Whereas Tindler Swindler, Jania, he's now offering for $100-something, you can get like a birthday message or whatever on Cameo from him. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, like, again, like not thinking big enough.
Yeah. Also, he's offering business advice for like, should we hit him up?
I would honestly, if someone gave it to me as a birthday gift, I would be so thrilled because I would just be curious. So, what kind of business advice is he offering?
But it's also like so specific. Honestly, I'll give it to you. Don't worry about it.
Okay, I can get you the Cameo. It's in October. I can get you the birthday message on Cameo from him. I'll be like, Jania, please send
get
money.
It from Anna Delvey. Get it from Anna Delvey. Then we're even.
Anna Delvey is not going to be on Cameo. I believe in her. I think she's going to do bigger things.
She'll be building her social club. She'll be too busy for us.
Yeah, maybe in Germany now because I think she's getting deported. But yeah,
right. Well, I wish her all the best. That's what I can say. Okay, so are we gonna recap? Okay, finish what you wanted to say because I was about to change the conversation.
Tindler Swindler, Anna. One thing that I think it teaches you is that you really need to like do research on people you're getting into business or bed with. Like, guys can make fun of us being like, oh, she's so crazy, like she looks me up and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, no.
Okay, well,
now I'm like
with Tindler Swindler, the thing is that they did Google and he did like seem legit. Like he had like a website, I don't know what.
You need to do more. You need to do more. You literally need to be like doing some investigative work.
That is interesting, actually. I never thought about it. How like, okay, let's say we've all Googled a past crush or a person we've dated in the past. But when you Google them, don't you just like see like the first couple of links, which is like LinkedIn, Instagram, and like whatever, and then you just forget about it?
Exactly, and that's what I'm saying.
And
nowadays,
usually
anyone can make it. Nowadays, anyone can do it. So like, you literally need to be more thorough. I actually think I pride myself on being a very good amateur investigator. So if anyone needs help sussing out their significant other, I can do it. So
yeah,
let me know.
Yeah, I believe in that. That's a good business idea. Maybe you should
literally
business advice
for Cameo also.
for
My
$300.
hair's, I was gonna say my hair is full of secrets. That's why it's so big and long. Because I know everything about everybody.
Good. The limit does not exist.
Basically. You give Tindler Swindler, Inventing Anna, Love is Blind.
Tindler Swindler, Inventing Anna, Love is Blind. What would I give a rating?
Yeah.
Out of 10. Okay, 10 being the best, 1 being the worst.
Yeah.
Tindler Swindler, I would give it a solid 7 for the fact that it captivated me. You know, like I did watch it. It was an easy watch. It wasn't crazy. And Inventing Anna, I think I would give it like a 4, just because of the fact that I didn't know what was wrong, what was facts and what wasn't. And then Love is Blind, I would give it an 8 because I like reality TV show. I'm just I'm just into trash TV, you know? Like,
Okay.
I like that. Okay, what about you?
I think I'm pretty much on the same page. Love is Blind, I would give it an 8. I think it's a really solid reality show. It has really good moments, and as you said, I think it has really good editing. Even though it's like filmed over several days, it doesn't feel too long. Tindler Swindler, I'm gonna give it a 6. I also think it was good. Really easy. Like, yeah, I think it was good, but I don't think it was amazing. Inventing Anna, I'm gonna give it like a 5 because it was pretty average in my opinion.
Okay, fair. Okay. Anyways, thanks for tuning into our show, Jacuzzi Girls. If you guys, whoever made it this long, we're going to create an Instagram page. Leave an emoji. What emoji should they leave, SLO?
So
Cash.
Cash.
No, actually, cash flying away.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And Jania will transfer you all 200,000 tenge into each of your Kaspi accounts. So let her know.
Yeah, as soon as I get that wire transfer from Marcella, she's been promising it for a while now. She keeps saying it's gonna be 3 to 5 business days, but I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. I think if anybody wants us to do another show, we can do other shows, but I think we will have other shows we will talk about because we watch a lot of TV. We watch a lot of TV.
Pandawai.
Love you.
We need to figure out how this recording is gonna look like too, and like.
Wait, do I just stop it? Should I press pause or stop?
I think you should stop it now. Hilarious if you didn't save. I'm gonna laugh forever.
I'm literally gonna kill myself if I didn't. Wait, how do you find this? How